We've all been there. You're working with AI, trying to get something done, and it just doesn't work. Today, we're talking about what to do when AI gives you the wrong answer. Not how to avoid wrong answers, that's impossible, but what to do when they happen. Because here's the thing, how you respond to a bad output matters more than getting it right the first time. Picture this. You spend 5 minutes carefully crafting what you think is the perfect prompt. You're specific, you've given context, you've followed all the prompting advice you've learned. You hit enter, wait a few seconds, and AI completely missed the mark. Maybe it gave you something generic when you needed something specific. Maybe it answered a different question entirely. Maybe it was just wrong in a way that you can't quite articulate, but you definitely know it when you see it. What now? This is the moment that separates people who get value from AI and people who give up on it. Here's what most people do, and every single one of these responses is counterproductive. They start completely over. New conversation, blank slate, abandoning all the context they just built. Or they give up on AI entirely for that task, deciding that it just isn't something AI can handle. Some people accept the mediocre results because fixing it seems harder than just dealing with it. And others hit regenerate and try the exact same prompt again, as if AI's randomness will magically fix a fundamental misunderstanding. None of these work. They're all reactions that come from not understanding how to work with AI effectively. Here's what you should do instead. Iterate. Let me show you why this is better than starting over. When you iterate, AI already understands your context. That foundation doesn't disappear just because the output was wrong. Every response AI gives you is diagnostic information. It shows you what AI understood and where the gap is. That's valuable. When you start over, you lose all of that. Small corrections create big improvements. You don't need to rebuild everything from scratch. A single clarifying sentence can transform a useless output into exactly what you need. And here's the thing, your conversation history is an asset, not a liability. Each exchange builds understanding. Starting over throws away that accumulated context and makes you rebuild it from nothing. Think of it this way, iteration is a short, direct path to refinement. Starting over is hoping you get lucky the second time. One of these is strategic, the other is just rolling the dice again. Not all wrong answers are wrong in the same way. Understanding the type of wrong answer you're dealing with helps you fix it faster. Type 1, wrong direction. AI completely misunderstood the task. The output isn't just bad, it's fundamentally off target. Like you asked it for an analysis and got a summary instead. Type 2, right direction, wrong execution. AI understood what you wanted, but failed in the delivery. The idea is there, but the tone is wrong, or it's too long. Or it missed a critical detail. The foundation is good, the execution needs work. Type 3, almost there. The output is 80 to 90% correct. Just needs minor polish or small adjustments. One or two elements are off, but the rest is solid. These aren't arbitrary categories. Each type needs a different fix, and matching your response to that type is how you get results fast. Here's your framework for fixing wrong answers. 4 steps. First, diagnose the type. Is this wrong direction, wrong execution, or almost there? Don't skip this step. The fix depends on correctly identifying the problem. Second, apply the right fix. Each type has a specific correction strategy. We'll walk through all 3 in a minute. Third, verify the improvement. Did the output move in the right direction? You're not looking for perfection yet, just progress. Fourth, refine if needed. Make additional adjustments to get your goal. Most tasks need 2 or 3 iterations, not 20. This is a process, not a one-shot deal. Get comfortable with it. Let's dig into type 1. Wrong direction. The problem is that AI didn't understand what you wanted. The output is fundamentally off target. It misinterpreted the core task entirely. You asked one question and it answered a completely different one. This happens when your initial prompt was ambiguous or when AI made incorrect assumptions about your intent. The key thing to understanding is that this isn't AI being stupid. It's pattern completion activating the wrong patterns based on how you phrase things. Here's how you fix it. Clarify. Don't restart. Step 1. Point out the specific misunderstanding. That's a summary. I didn't ask for a summary. Be direct about what AI got wrong. Step 2. Restate what you actually need. I need an analysis, not a description. Don't assume AI will figure it out. State it plainly. Step 3, add a constraining example if needed, like this format: problem, root cause, solution. Show AI the structure or approach you want. The key is building on the existing conversation rather than abandoning your progress. You're correcting course, not starting the journey over. Here's what this looks like in practice. Someone says, write an email about the meeting. AI produces a generic meeting recap. Nobody asked for a recap. That's wrong direction. AI misunderstood the task. The fix? That's a recap. I need an email inviting people to next week's meeting, including the agenda. Result? A proper invitation email with all the necessary details. One clarifying sentence transformed a useless output into exactly what was needed. That's the power of diagnosing the type correctly and applying the right fix. All right, type 2, right direction, wrong execution. AI understood the core task. It knew what you were asking for, but the quality, tone, or details fell short. Maybe the structure needs adjustment, or the content is there, but the presentation is off. This is actually the most common type of wrong answer. AI knows what you want, but hasn't executed it correctly yet. The foundation is good, you just need to guide the execution. Here's your fix. Redirect with specifics. Keep the task. The foundation is good. Don't throw it away, but specify what's wrong. This is too formal, or this is missing key data. Point the specific execution problem. Then guide towards what's right. Make it conversational, or add metrics showing ROI. Give AI the direction it needs to adjust. Think of this as a course correction mid-flight. You're not changing the destination. You're adjusting the trajectory to get there better. Let's see this one in action. First attempt. AI gives you something that's way too formal, way too long, and missing the key deadline point you need to emphasize. The fix? This is too formal for our team. Make it conversational. Cut it to 3 sentences and emphasize the deadline. Final result? Perfect tone, right length, deadline front and center. 3 specific corrections transform the output without starting over. That's efficiency. That's how you work with AI effectively. Type 3, almost there. The output is 80 to 90% correct. It just needs polish or minor tweaks. Small details are off. 1 or 2 elements need adjustment, but the bulk of it is solid. This is the easiest type to fix because you're in the home stretch. You don't need a major overhaul. You need surgical precision on specific elements. The fix here is surgical corrections. Point to the specific issue. The third paragraph needs adjustment. Be precise about location and element. Request the exact change. Change this one word or swap those 2 points. Tells AI what to modify. Preserve everything else. Keep the rest exactly as is. Make sure AI knows not to regenerate everything. Just fix the one thing. This level of precision prevents AI from fixing things that weren't broken while addressing your actual concern. Here's what this looks like. You've got an almost perfect output, great structure, perfect tone, excellent examples, but one bullet point emphasized the wrong benefit. The surgical fix? This is great. Just change the second bullet point to focus on cost savings instead of time savings. The result? Exactly what you needed. One precise correction finished the job. No need to regenerate everything. No risk of AI improving things that were already perfect. Just a targeted fix. Okay, so when should you actually start over instead of iterating? Start over when you realize you asked for the wrong thing entirely. Not that AI got it wrong, that you asked for something you didn't actually need. Or when the context has become confusing from too many iterations and you need a clean slate. Or when a completely new approach is required because your current direction isn't working at all. Or if you're past 4 or 5 iterations without meaningful progress. At that point, iteration isn't the problem. Your approach is. Iterate when AI clearly understands the core task, when you can point to specific fixable issues, when each iteration is making measurable progress. When the foundation is solid, it just needs refinement. Most of the time, probably 80 or 90%, iteration is the smarter choice. Starting over should be your last resort, not your first response. Let me walk you through a real iteration sequence so you can see how this plays out. Iteration 1, AI gives you generic one-size-fits-all advice, the kind of thing that could apply to anyone and therefore helps no one. Your fix? Too generic. Give me specific, actionable examples. Iteration 2. Better. AI gives you examples now, but they're aimed at the wrong audience. They're written for developers when you need something for business owners. Your fix? These examples are for developers. I need them for business owners who aren't technical. Iteration 3. Perfect. You now have specific examples tailored to the right audience with clear next steps they can actually implement. That's 3 iterations, not 20, not 5 minutes of back and forth. 3 targeted corrections, each building on the last, each making measurable progress. 4 principles for making iteration work. Be specific. Point to exactly what's wrong, not just make it better. Vague feedback produces vague improvements. Build on what's right. Acknowledge what works before requesting changes. This guides AI towards preserving the good stuff while fixing the problems. One correction at a time. Make one correction per iteration for clearer results. If you try to fix 5 things at once, you won't know which fix created which improvement. Use the 3 iteration rule. If you're past 3 or 4 iterations without getting closer to what you need, reassess your approach. The problem might not be AI's execution, it might be your prompt or your understanding of what you actually need. This video builds directly on concepts we've covered before. Video 3 taught about hallucinations, recognizing when AI is inventing information. That detection skill feeds directly into identifying wrong answers. Video 5 covered prompting fundamentals, creating effective initial prompts. The better your starting prompt, the fewer iterations you'll need. Video 18 covered common prompting mistakes, avoiding the pitfalls that lead to bad outputs in the first place. Prevention plus iteration equals efficiency. Video 25 taught you how to spot bad answers, identifying when output is unreliable. Now you know what to do once you've spotted them. This is the next level. You can now apply diagnostic and correction strategies systematically to get better results from AI, faster and with less frustration. Iteration isn't a workaround for AI's limitations. It's the proper workflow for working with AI effectively. Wrong answers aren't failures, they're starting points. Every response is diagnostic information that shows you where the gap is. Master iteration, and you'll spend less time frustrated and more time getting actual value from AI. This is part of our Making AI Make Sense series. In the next video, we're going to be covering how to get AI to cite its sources and why that matters for reliability. If you need help building iteration workflows into your team's AI usage, that's exactly what we do at Eau Claire AI. Visit eauclaireai.com to start a conversation. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.